guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Amanda. I am currently pregnant with baby number 2, a little girl who is due around January 15th. And I also have an 18-month-old son named Chase. So today I'm going to be sharing my 24 to 27 week pregnancy update. So in the full-on second trimester right now, I'm actually sitting in baby girl's nursery right now. I am almost completely done with it. There are just a few more things that I need to get up on the wall, and in terms of like decor and just like arranging everything in her dresser, getting all of the clothes ready and everything like that. But other than that, the nursery is pretty much like 95% there, and I will absolutely be doing a nursery tour as soon as I get the final touches on everything. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So for week 24, I was actually at about, I had gained about 18 pounds. So I think that's still within the normal range for around 24 weeks pregnant, but I actually didn't put a lot of notes this week. And I've mentioned in my previous pregnancy updates, but I feel like with my second pregnancy, there are certain weeks where I just won't take any notes because nothing like monumental has happened. Whereas in my first pregnancy, I wrote down every little teeny tiny symptom, ache, pain, nudge, whatever it was. But now I guess it's just like, you know, the second time around, it's a little bit different. So the only thing that I wrote down for week 24 was that I had swollen ankles and swollen feet. And I am a short person. I am 5'1", so I actually have a longer torso and shorter legs. So like the fact that my feet and my ankles were swollen, I kind of looked like I had cankles. I think this had been happening in my, like a couple weeks before that, like week 23. Or week 22 as well, but I had just been trying to walk around a little more to increase the circulation and, you know, kind of just like prevent the swelling a little bit, and also drinking a lot of water. I've got my trusty water here, and I fill it up throughout the day as much as possible. So I had that. I also just wrote that I was in really good spirits this week, and I wasn't feeling any sort of like physical discomfort. So I didn't have any back pain. I didn't feel any like pain around my belly or any like major leg cramping, nothing like that. So actually I feel like week 24 was pretty good for me. Week 25, I had gained another pound, so I was up 19 pounds. My first note is that I started to get major heartburn, and this was mainly, I felt it the most when I was laying down right before I went to bed. Like in bed, I would get in bed, and then as soon as I laid down, like, you know, on my back or my side, I felt like this, just like, it, you know, it's like a burning sensation that's kind of in your throat, and it always makes me cough a lot. I don't know why, but it's really uncomfortable. And basically at this point, anything that is acidic was triggering the heartburn. And I had really bad heartburn in my third trimester with Chase, my first pregnancy, and he came out with a huge full head of black hair. So I'm thinking that this baby might also have a really nice head of hair, because the heartburn is just really starting, and it's really uncomfortable. Most of the time it's only at night. So during the day I'm okay. When I eat something that's really acidic, like if it's chocolate or something really spicy, I normally notice it right away, but it's not anywhere near as bad towards the end of the day when I'm kind of like laying more flat down. If it gets really uncomfortable and I keep on like coughing and like gagging, I will just take some Tums, like 2 or 3 Tums, and then those work within like, honestly, a minute and I'm able to fall asleep. So if ladies out there who are pregnant and experiencing heartburn, Tums are okay for pregnancy. I think they just say don't take more than like 7 within a 24-hour period, which is, you know, totally doable. So yeah, starting the heartburn, exciting stuff. I also wrote that I was getting a little bit more exhausted than normal, and I also was starting to really nest around this time. So I binge watched The Home Edit on Netflix. It's like the organizing show. I forget the ladies' names, but they're hilarious. And so I was literally watching all of the episodes, and I did some major organization in preparation of the baby. Like I reorganized my entire pantry, my closet, I got labels for things. Like I was going full on. And I think like part of it was definitely getting the inspiration from watching the Netflix series, but the other part is that I'm really starting to nest, and I know that, you know, as I go into my 3rd trimester, I'm going to be slowing down a whole lot more. It's going to be harder to get things done, harder to maneuver around and like have the energy to do a lot of like organization and decluttering and things like that. So I just, whenever I get the urge to do that stuff, I take full advantage and just go full on. So that was really it for week 25. Week 26, I had not gained any weight between 25 and 26 weeks. So I was at 19 pounds up from my pre-pregnancy weight. I said that I was feeling a lot of pressure down in like my lower like belly area, and if I did any sort of strenuous activity like a workout, like a intense, more intense workout, or even things just like mopping the floor, vacuuming the floor, if I'm like really exerting myself, then my like lower belly really starts to tense up. I'm not sure if these are Braxton Hicks contractions or not, or if it's just like a really minor tightening that's happening. I never went into labor with my first pregnancy. I had a C-section at 37 weeks. So I don't really know what a contraction feels like or what a Braxton Hicks contraction feels like. I didn't get any of those at my first pregnancy. So maybe it's that, maybe it isn't. They're not anything serious whatsoever. I usually just stop what I'm doing and like take a few breaths and then continue on as normal. Nothing that is alarming me at all. I also have tried to stay as active as possible. I have been on like a pretty good 3 workout per week schedule mixed in with like walks on the days that I'm not actually doing a workout. So my workouts have tended to be like lower impact, light weights for like 30 minutes. So I'll do 2 days a week. I'll do a 30-minute like strength workout where it's basically just doing, sorry guys, just doing like full body. I'll do arm exercises, I'll do leg exercises, and use really light weights. So maybe 8-pound dumbbells or 5-pound dumbbells, or like a 10 to 15 pound dumbbell if I'm doing any like sort of squats or leg exercises, but just really low impact. And so I'll do those 2 days a week, and then I usually do 1 day on the Peloton. And during this time, I was still doing the workouts with one of the instructors, but just modifying them a lot because I just get winded so quickly. But I'm noticing that my belly is sort of starting to get a little bit in the way when I'm on the Peloton. I don't know. I guess it's just gonna get even like more in the way as I get bigger, but I'm still keeping up with that. It's been another good like low impact activity that I can do and, you know, just modify to my own activity level. And that's really that. I also what else did I mention? It's getting harder and harder to like get out of bed and get up from the couch and everything like that. I'm also very dramatic, so it's probably not that bad, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I have to get out of the bed. This is such a chore. It's so hard, but it's not that bad yet. And I know that like, as I move on to my 3rd trimester, it's going to be even more difficult. So I should probably just like enjoy these times right now where I'm still able to like move around, and it's not like a major thing. So I also wrote that I was still experiencing the heartburn, and I was having a little bit of lower back pain, and I think that this is just because, you know, the baby is getting bigger and the weight is packing on, and, you know, I'm still trying to stay active as much as I can in order to like stay in shape and really like support the extra weight. So I want to make sure that I'm not like getting winded and still able to chase my little son around and, you know, play with him and things like that as long as I possibly can. All right, so this is a very exciting week because I actually had, well, it was exciting and also really nerve-wracking because I had my glucose test this week. And I mentioned this in my previous pregnancy update, but with baby number 1, Chase, I had gestational diabetes, and I was so shocked about the fact that I had it, and I thought it was something terrible that I had been doing, like I was eating too much candy and all this other stuff. Long story short, it ended up being fine. I monitored it with just regular exercise and diet, and, you know, I had to prick my finger, but it was really annoying to have to prick my finger 4 times a day, and also just to like really be mindful of the amount of carbs that I was taking in and sugars and stuff like that. So I talked to my doctor, who said that, you know, it could be different for your 2nd pregnancy. Like, it has everything to do with the placenta, and, you know, things change a lot in your body from your 1st pregnancy to your 2nd. Your body kind of like knows what to do the 2nd time around. So he was just, you know, not super concerned about the test or anything, and basically said, like, you know, if you do have it, we'll do the same thing as last time because there weren't any other issues. So anyway, I went in, I took my test. I did, they had a new flavor this time. It was fruit punch, and it was actually like much better tasting than I think I had an orange one for my 1st pregnancy, but the fruit punch was actually decent. It wasn't that bad. And like, so I drank it, you know, within the 5 minutes that they give you. I felt pretty normal. And then they drew my blood. I got the results back 2 days later, and I don't have gestational diabetes. So my test came back normal. Everything is great. I like jumped for joy when I got that call from my doctor's office. It was just like such a weight lifted off of my shoulders, because I, you know, even though it's not the end of the world, and it's not, for the most part, it's nothing that, you know, you've done personally to bring on this condition. It's the placenta. So like, it's just out of your control for a lot of people, unless you had like existing, you know, issues with it, or you had diabetes before you got pregnant, something like that. But anyway, I was really happy about that. And I also, on the same day that I took my glucose test, I got a little ultrasound, a really quick one from my doctor. The baby was measuring 27 weeks and 1 day. So I, like, according to, you know, how you check based on your last period, I was at 26 weeks, so I was slightly ahead of where I thought that I would be. No problem there. He said everything looked great. The baby was 2 pounds 4 ounces, which I don't know, I just feel like that's pretty big. I don't know why. Some of the apps, they say that like the baby should be like 1 pound at like 7 ounces or something like that, and so I kind of thought that like 2 pounds 4 ounces sounded a little big, but the doctor said that everything was perfectly normal and on track for growth, which was great. He also said that the baby was already head down, which I was really surprised about too. I don't know if that's just like they move around at this point and sometimes they're head down and then they go back up or whatever. But with my first pregnancy, Chase was breech and I had low amniotic fluid. So there was no way that he could possibly flip around. And that's why I had a C-section, those two reasons. The fact that I had low amniotic fluid and he was breech. So this pregnancy is completely different than my first, and it's actually made me think a lot about birth. I originally was planning on having a scheduled C-section because I had one the first time around, but now I'm kind of starting to consider maybe trying for a VBAC. So I go back to the doctor in 3 weeks and I'm gonna ask him what he recommends, if there are any like potential threats or risks if I wanted to attempt a VBAC, but I'll definitely give you an update after I have that appointment with him. 3 weeks, well, it'll be not 3 weeks, but when I go back. So that was it for week 26. I feel like 24 and 25 was like nothing going on. 26, there's a lot of activity. 27 weeks, I had gained 21 pounds. So now I'm having a lot more of a hard time falling asleep. I also feel like there's a lot more just going on in like my entire life right now, aside from the normal like COVID stuff that is, you know, very different from the first time I was pregnant. I also am extremely busy at work. There's a lot of pressure there. So usually at the end of the day, like when I go to fall asleep, my mind is just racing with all these different things like work stuff, personal stuff, just thinking about getting prepped for the baby, getting things done around the house, making sure that Chase is okay and thriving and getting enough attention and is happy, and kind of starting to like prep him that the baby is coming, which he really doesn't understand very much. I show him my belly, like he's really obsessed with belly buttons right now. So I show him my belly button and my belly and I say like, there's a baby in there, baby sister's coming. And what's really funny is like, we'll ask Chase like, where's the baby? And he'll go over to my husband and lift his shirt up and like rub his tummy. So I don't know, he has some sort of a concept, but definitely I'm the one that's having the baby, not daddy. But anyway, I'm also going along with like having trouble falling asleep at night. I'm also getting up about 4 times to go pee. So I think also the fact that like the baby is head down, there's a lot more pressure on my bladder, which is different than in the first pregnancy because his head was up here. And I mean, not that it makes a huge difference, but like I feel like I just always have to pee these days. And so getting up a lot at night, so that's disrupting my normal sleep patterns. I feel like there's a lot more of that tightening that I'm starting to experience, kind of like lower down whenever I do any sort of activity. Like now when I go for a walk, like I usually feel this tenseness down there. It's not like, and like I have to pee, even if I pee and start the walk, like I already have to pee walking. So I just feel like there's a lot of like pressure down there right now for whatever reason. I'm also noticing that just like because of the extra weight gain, my face is looking a lot more full, and like my lips are, I feel like they're swelling a little bit, like they're just looking a lot more fuller than normal. And that I pretty much experienced that in my first pregnancy too, so no surprises there. But I also haven't gotten any like stretch marks on my actual belly, but I did notice kind of like on my sides, like my hip area, I noticed a few extra stretch marks that I don't think were there previously. So I think that I'm definitely a little bit larger within the hip area with baby girl than I got with Chase. And Chase was only 5 pounds 6 ounces when he was born. So he was small. He was like a little guy. So I don't think I think I gained a total of 30 pounds with Chase, and I'm definitely way beyond that. I feel like I'm gonna gain more than 30 pounds with this pregnancy because I'm already at up 21 and I still have like my entire 3rd trimester pretty much. But that is really it. So I think week 28 starts your 3rd trimester. So I'm actually a little bit further on than 27 weeks right now. So the last thing I will do is give you a full-on bump shot and wrap this up. And now oh my God, ow, I've been sitting cross-legged and my foot fell asleep. Oh, help, send help. Okay guys, just moved into my bedroom. Don't mind the bassinet full with my husband's clean laundry. That's where he likes to put it these days. So here is the front, and oh my gosh, my foot is still asleep. Here's the front. Here we are from the side. And then here's the other side. Here's from the front. You can see like all the veins. It's like pretty crazy. But yeah, that's the front. The side. And then here's the other side. So yeah, I'm starting to get pretty big. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this pregnancy update. I will certainly keep you posted as I progress. Hopefully I'll get back into more of like a update every 2 weeks instead of having 4 weeks combined. I've just been so incredibly busy that like the weeks just fly by, and I haven't had time. But anyway, no excuses. I'm gonna try to do that just because we're getting towards, you know, 3rd trimester. A lot of things tend to happen as you get closer to the countdown. But I hope that everybody out there that is pregnant is having a safe and healthy pregnancy. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. I love connecting with all of you. I appreciate all of your comments, and I love to hear about your journeys just to compare with mine and, you know, see the differences and similarities. It's just really great to have a nice community of women out there who are going through the same thing at the same time. So thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate if you do and come along on my journey, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.